Welcome back to California Edition. I'm Brad Pomerantz. I'm glad you're still with us. Our guest is Kelly Hewitt. She is the director of the Scripps College Academy. It is a program that is doing such great work for young women in the Los Angeles, Southern California area. I am so glad you're here. Before we talk about the Academy, I want to hear about your journey to this position as director. Talk to us.
Sure. Well, I'm very happy to be here and
Please.
speak about our program. I had the opportunity to get involved with the Scripps College Academy while as an undergraduate at Scripps. So the majority of our program staff comes from our undergraduate students.
Right.
I got to, as a first year in college, get to mentor high school girls who knew they wanted to go to college but didn't know quite how to get there.
And of course, Scripps College, part of the Claremont Colleges, the consortium. Scripps College happens to be single sex and about 900 students. We recently had your president on. I was completely taken by her. And what's interesting about your program, and we'll get into it in a moment, is it's not necessarily a feeder to Scripps College exclusively.
Exactly. So our goal as a leader in women's education is to look just beyond just the college years and say, what can we do to help young women in our local communities prepare for the college of their choice?
Their choice, which is key. Okay, so tell me more about the Scripps College Academy. And as you're listening, know that they are accepting applications right now for young women in 9th and 10th grade. And the deadline for that application is March 16th, so we have a few weeks. We're in great shape.
Yeah.
Tell us about the program.
Perfect. So right now we're accepting applications specifically for our SCA Scholars Program. This is our flagship program, our most intensive. And students join in the 9th or 10th grade, like you said. They get to start by attending a 2-week summer residential program on our campus.
Residential. Does that mean it's essentially education summer camp for 2 weeks?
Exactly. They get to live in the dorms,
wow.
eat in the dining hall, and take classes from our faculty members. Almost 40% of the faculty at Scripps have taught in this program, so they really get to experience what it's like to have, you know, the instruction, the feedback, and the attention of really top faculty members.
So how many students do you anticipate to accept for this 2013 class?
For the 2013 class, we're able to bring in about 50 students, and we will stick with them all throughout high school. So following the summer program, when they're in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, they'll be invited back to our campus for monthly activities, book clubs, science research opportunities, field trips. We'll do test preparation, and then in the senior year, we'll walk them every step of the way through the college application and financial aid process.
So who's your perfect candidate?
Well, every one of our candidates, of course, is special, but we're really seeking to serve first-generation students, so students who are highly motivated, applying themselves in school, but maybe have tapped out the resources available immediately to them.
So my father was a first-generation college student, and he was admitted to 2 colleges, Columbia University, a part of the Ivy League, and Brooklyn College of Pharmacy. And he went to Brooklyn College of Pharmacy because that's where his cousin went. So that is an example of kind of tapped out of resources. There just wasn't a sense of, again, Brooklyn College of Pharmacy, I'm sure, is wonderful.
Yes, yes.
But this is where just having an outsider guide these young women can be so critical.
And we know if we're able to get them to start at a very strong 4-year college, their potential to graduate in 4 years and have immediate employment and really good impact on the community is going to be so much more likely.
So what about the geography? Because look, I'm sure that someone can get from wherever they may be in Southern California for 2 weeks, they stay there and then get home, but the program is continuing, and so they need to get out to Claremont.
Yeah.
I understand you've taken that into consideration.
Yeah, very good question. We have thought about transportation. We know that transportation is potentially a barrier for some students and families to accessing good resources like ours. So we do commit to providing transportation through things like subsidized Metrolink tickets and rides from various locations. And anyone who's interested in knowing if we serve specifically their region or their neighborhood are welcome to contact us.
Generally, what are the regions?
Generally, the regions we're serving a lot of students who live near downtown, a lot of students who are living in South LA, and then a lot of communities near our campus. Upland, Ontario, Montclair, they're near our campus in Claremont, but it's surprising how close they can be. And yet, how limited, how so far, exactly.
I want to talk to you about that kind of first generation student, because I think about my father's experience. You know, his parents were immigrants. I don't even think they finished high school in Eastern Europe. We have similar situations here where they may be immigrants from Asia, immigrants from Central and South America, and there's just no tableau. I mean, it's not that they don't want their kids to achieve, but it's often, it's good enough. Your cousin went to Brooklyn College of Pharmacy. How are you able to speak with that parent?
Yeah.
Because again, I'm sure they're loving and supportive and want to do everything they can, but you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly, and we really respect the families and know that they are working so hard to give many opportunities to their students. Our goal is just to give them the information and the support to make their dreams happen. So I think of
But you don't even know what your dream is
know.
half the time. That's the challenge. I keep going back to my father, who, I mean, literally had no idea what he was facing.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is 50 years ago, obviously, but the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah. So when we bring students onto our campus, it's almost always the first time on a college campus for them.
Sure.
And it's the same for their families. So for a lot of families, the process of their student getting to live on a college campus, getting to meet with faculty members, is mirrored in that they get to experience what it's like for them.
Families, I assume the families are not there for the 2 weeks.
Exactly.
But they participate a bit in that 2-week process?
Yes, and just having the students slightly away from home
Right, just slightly.
for 2 weeks, it is as much a learning experience for the students as it is for their families, and they often experience, we can do this
What
together.
about language barriers with parents? Are you able to work through that?
Yeah.
Should it present?
Yeah, so we make sure the most common language that our students are speaking in the home would be Spanish. And so we commit to all of our staff in our office being very comfortable communicating in English and Spanish, but we have plenty of families who prefer other languages, whether it be Vietnamese or Mandarin or another language. And fortunately, because we're on a college campus,
someone speaks that language.
Yes.
Whatever language it may be, someone's speaking it.
And we know that if there's a father concerned about his daughter going away, we need a father who can speak to that father and really find that best fit.
So the Academy is 10 years old, and I think it's fair to say you've had some successes.
Yeah,
we
have.
A few.
We're very happy.
Why don't you tell us about some of your successes?
So 2 years ago, we won the National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Award, which is a long title, but it's an award from the White House. So we are very happy to be able to send one of our students to receive it from Michelle Obama.
That's nice.
And the other way we think about our successes, of course, is our students. So we've been able to send students to more than 65 colleges all throughout the country. About half of our students begin at a private, about half begin at a public, but they're all going to the college of their choice.
And you can work through financial aid challenges?
Definitely. And we know that financial aid is a really important piece.
Of course.
And that's one of the reasons we really promote private colleges like Scripps College.
It is ironic. They have better financial aid packages. They're the most expensive, but yet they can provide more resources.
When I say to students, if you see a high sticker price, think of it as potentially money for you. Because that sometimes is an indicator that they have the resources to support the student who needs it the most.
So out of your 2012 graduating class, those high school students, what percent went to college?
100%.
100%, yeah. So something's working.
The majority of them, 95%, went straight to a 4-year college or university. Vast majority.
Not 51%.
No.
95%.
47% started at a highly selective or very selective college. And that's important to us not because of prestige or name recognition.
Well, why not?
But
why not? That's important to me. Why not?
Because we know that those students have the resources and have the support there to make sure they're going to succeed.
You know, it's interesting. I've seen some documentaries about students who've kind of been plucked out of difficult neighborhoods. They get sent to these prestigious universities, and they just don't have the skills to adapt. Not the intelligence, the skills to adapt. But it seems like you are providing those adaptive skills for 3-4 years.
Yeah, that's a great point. We talk about social capital, that there's things other than academic skills that lead to success in college. And so, for example, when our 9th grade student gets to work in a classroom with a college faculty member,
they're on their way.
They're going to be so much better prepared for that first week of college.
I'm completely taken by you, as I have been with most people who come on my program from Scripps College. Her name is Kelly Hewitt. She is the director of the Scripps College Academy. The deadline is March 16th. I'm Brad Pomerantz. Thank you so much for watching Charter California.